In my manual safety video, I disparage the optional crossbolt safety offered for the Mossberg MC2c. But since I don't really like disparaging something I have not actually physically tried, I contacted Mossberg to see if I could get a lower grip frame with the manual safety to experiment with some ideas I had for dealing with the safety as an ambidextral shooter. Mossberg was gracious enough to send me a crossbolt manual safety equipped MC2c to try. This is Mark Laughlin speaking for the ambidextral gunfighter. Why is a crossbolt manual safety problematic for the ambidextral gunfighter? Well, imagine if the safety on your AR-15 when shooting left-handed, you flick the lever down to fire, and then right-handed you flicked it down to put it on safe. There is some serious potential for disaster if AR Ambi safeties were made in such a way. That is basically the issue of the crossbolt safety. Left hand does it one way, right hand the other. In your one hand, you might depress the safety with your index finger to fire, and in the other hand with your thumb. It would be easy, given bilateral transfer of skill, for one to fail to properly engage the safety, that is, putting it on fire when one meant to put it on safe. So how does the ambidextral gunfighter deal with the crossbolt safety on the MC2c? Well, for starters, in general, I have retreated from an insistence on ambi controls on my pistols. For my purposes, pistols, unlike fighting rifles, do not necessarily need perfectly mirrored ambi controls because 1. I rarely carry a spare magazine, preferring a multi-tool and trauma gear instead. 2. If I do carry a spare mag, it's right next to my holster rather than on the opposite side, so I change hands to do a magazine change anyway, assuming I haven't already changed hands for optimal use of cover. 3. It reduces the inside the waistband girth and minimizes snagging. 4. For button mag release pistols, it reduces the risk of accidental magazine disengagement. One less button at risk of dropping the magazine. And 5, for releasing the slide, the slingshot method is simpler and more reliable. Okay, so I really like the MC2c. It is my favorite 9mm pistol, and my positive reviews expressing this opinion no doubt contributed to my receiving a manual safety version of the MC2c from Mossberg. I love the MC2c's slim, no-snag design. I love the safe takedown system for the ability to keep the striker channel clean. I like how the micro red dot sits so low on the slide. I love the high grip ratio that helps index the pistol for point shooting. DLC coating on the slide is a premium feature. The slide serrations topped our bloody hands testing. And the trigger is pretty good if you install the M-Carbo spring kit. So back to the key question. How does the ambidextral gunfighter deal with a crossbolt safety? I make it part of the holster-unholster process. Nothing else. In effect, the pistol goes hot when I put my hands on it and as soon as I clear the holster. Almost like a grip safety equipped pistol. In other words, the safety manipulation is part of the holster and draw from holster process. Coming out of the holster, the pistol is hot. Going in, it is cold. Much like a grip safety, just manually done with my draw hand. So unlike my SIG P365 or Kel-Tec P17, I'm not manipulating the safety once the pistol is drawn. For example, I don't click the safety on to make ambidextrous transitions from one hand to the other. I've experimented with that on my manual safety P365 and P17 pistols, but nowadays I just leave the manual safety off during these transitions. So back to the Mossberg MC2c with the manual crossbolt safety. The MC2c's crossbolt safety can be configured or swapped so as to engage the safety with either your thumb or trigger finger. As an ambi shooter, I carry and present left-handed, see my video, Why Carry Left-Handed, and at first I thought I'd want to disengage the safety with my trigger finger and then put it on safe with my thumb. It is possible that it makes more sense kinesthetically for the trigger finger to go disengage the safety right before indexing on the slide or before entering the trigger guard. It seems a bit less disruptive of my grip than using the thumb to disengage the safety. However, it is rather shocking the number of times that I've hit the mag release by accident while trying to disengage the safety with my trigger finger. It really startles me every time I do it. So after testing with the safety, disengaging from the same side as the mag release, I've decided that the best solution for me is to disengage the safety with my firing hand thumb and drop the magazine with my support hand thumb. I argue that once you're ambidextrous, you should carry and initially present left-handed. So my pistol is now set up to disengage the safety from the right side and drop the magazine from the left side. Switching my hand because if I carry a mag, it's right next to my pistol's holster. This way, if while putting the pistol on safe, my trigger finger accidentally hits the mag release, at least I can play it off as if I'm making my pistol range clear safe. That is, mag out, slide back, safety on, chamber flag in, pistol grounded, and no one touches. More importantly, if I'm drawing my MC2C in self-defense, releasing the safety with my thumb has no possibility of dropping my full magazine just when I need it. One risk, however, is that engaging the safety with the forefinger before holstering disrupts your trigger finger from being indexed on the slide right before holstering. Without extra care, the finger could be introduced into the trigger guard during reholstering. Or after a high-stress self-defense situation, it's possible that the trigger could be pressed rather than the safety. As for holsters, ideally the safety should be protected from accidental disengagement by your holster. Hopefully the holster also provides some protection of the magazine release that is on the outside and is thus vulnerable to a bump that could disengage the magazine. Since I started with using my left hand trigger finger to disengage the safety and then switched to using my left hand thumb to disengage it, I had to delay this video so that I could relearn and recreate the muscle memory. Since I test so many handguns, I really don't get proficient with any one model. It's fun, but not optimal. If the manual safety MC2C is your only pistol, you may find a better or more efficient process for your needs. I not only test other pistols, but now I have the original MC2C without the Crossbolt safety, the Optics Ready MC2C without the Crossbolt safety, and now the Optics Ready MC2C with the Crossbolt safety. So talk about a muddied training issue. But here's where I'm at with my newfound appreciation for running a manual safety. I actually prefer the manual safety MC2C over my non-safety versions. Still, I prefer a grip safety or an Ambi thumb safety, but by tying the operation of the MC2C safety with holster and draw operations, I'm not so adamantly against the Mossberg Crossbolt safety. Another advantage of using your thumb to disengage the safety is that it doesn't interfere with doing G-wrap, the extreme retention technique. If you were using the trigger finger to disengage the safety and try to do G-wrap, you'd have to disengage the safety before your support hand became involved. And for drawing and point shooting, I find that whether using the index finger or thumb to disengage the safety does have a slight negative effect on my point shooting accuracy compared to drawing and point shooting without the safety. So, ideal pistol controls: paddle mag release, Ambi, and prevents accidental magazine disengagement. Grip safety, Ambi, and eliminates risk of forgetting to disengage. Slide stop. Ambi would be nice if you can preserve the low drag profile. Serrations should work with bloody, slippery hands. Trigger should feel the same left and right-handed. Why would I put up with the MC2C Crossbolt safety rather than stick with my P365 XL? Mossberg safe takedown system. Field strip, no snaggy takedown lever, and yet it is toolless. I like STS for keeping the striker channel clean. The MC2C has terrific slide serrations. The MC2C has a high grip ratio for indexing the muzzle for point shooting, and grip perfectly mirrored, and landing points for index trigger, finger, and thumbs forward, again perfectly mirrored. DLC coated slide is quite premium. Overall, the MC2C manual crossbolt safety is fine for non-ambi shooters. Ambidextral gunfighters will need to restrict safety engagement and disengagement to the draw and holster operations to avoid bilateral transfer of skill issues. In my video, Manual Safety Not Guaranteed Will Get You Killed, I concluded that for most people the benefits of reducing holstering risk and as an added layer of safety around kids, the manual safety is well worth the few milliseconds lost addressing a threat in a gunfight. In sum, the MC2C with manual safety is my preferred 9mm, thanks to the other virtues of the MC2C design. It's Mark Laughlin speaking for the Ambidextral Gunfighter. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.